Hey guys, how are you? And welcome to my preview of the 2017 Chinese Grand Prix. So, second race of the season, lots of things to talk about, lots of questions and hopefully answers at this Grand Prix. So let's get into some type of preview. So, let me talk about the Chinese Grand Prix in general. Right, so the first ever race in China took place in 2004. I think most of the races there have been pretty good. Some good races there. 2006 comes to mind. Schumacher coming from 6th place on the grid to win the race's final ever Grand Prix victory. Of course, 2007 was exciting when Hamilton crashed on entry to the pit lane, which basically cost him his World Championship in 2007. 2010 was good, of a wet, dry Grand Prix. What else is there? 2011 was pretty good as well, lots of overtaking. Maybe more recently they haven't been as good, but still, it's a track that's actually quite controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it. I like the Chinese Grand Prix, personally, and I guess, that's a discussion for another day maybe, whether people like the track or not. So as for the 2016 Chinese Grand Prix, pole position and the victory was taken by Nico Rosberg. It wasn't the most exciting race. In qualifying, Lewis Hamilton had an engine failure or something, and he had to start from the back of the grid, and he came back to 7th place that day. So I guess you can say this was one of the title deciding races in a way, because Nico Rosberg was able to get a massive gap to Lewis Hamilton because of this race, which ultimately made it harder for Hamilton to come back and win a championship. So even though last season this maybe wasn't the most exciting Grand Prix, it was possibly one of the most important Grand Prix. So, and I want you to tell me in the comments, what's your favourite Chinese Grand Prix, obviously since 2004. But now let's talk about the 2017 Grand Prix, as that's what this video is meant to be about. So there's lots of questions and answers, hopefully. All the teams, big race, all of them. So we have to talk about Mercedes versus Ferrari. Will Mercedes be able to come back from a difficult Australian Grand Prix? Yes, they were good in qualifying, but their race pace wasn't quite up to scratch. The strategy wasn't any good. I guess that's a big question. The big race with Bottas, tries to get a bit closer to Hamilton if he can, especially in qualifying. As for Ferrari, they want to keep up what they were doing. It's a big race for Kimi Räikkönen because he had a difficult time in Australia. He had handling issues in Australia the whole time. And I guess he has to improve himself a bit this week and maybe try to beat Vettel. That would be a great result for him. And I think the whole F1 community, whoever we support, whether we're Mercedes fans, Ferrari fans, or fans of any other team, want to see a good battle between the two teams, for the championship. And it doesn't really matter who wins the race, providing it's a close race. And I think that has to be the main thing that we care about. So yeah, I think that is a big thing, this race, and I guess we have to hope that the excitement about it just builds up even more after the race, which will hopefully be really good. So, Red Bull, I don't know, they seem to be the third fastest team. They do need, hopefully they will catch up a bit to challenge for race victories, but I don't think they'll be able to do it in China, to be honest, because, I doubt there's been so much development between Australia and China. Once we get to the European races, there tends to be more development to the cars, and that's when they might catch up. But they will hope to have a better race with Daniel Ricciardo, of course, because he had a tough time in Australia, and they want to make sure both cars get to the finish. That I guess would be successful for Red Bull this week, and they'll probably take their 5th and 6th places, at the finish line. Other teams, of course, Force India. I was very impressed with them in Australia. I didn't really talk about it. I was really impressed by Esteban Ocon. I thought he looked quite brave, going for lots of different overtakes. And of course, Perez also made some really good moves, which mustn't be forgotten at all. So, Williams, again, up there for the battle to be, the best of the rest. Also quite impressed with Massa anyway. I wasn't very impressed with Stroll, but hopefully he will come good. China is a big time and day for him to prove himself a bit. And I guess Massa wants another strong performance to prove that he was right to come out of retirement and prove his car is good. I'm sure Williams will be hoping for a podium sometime in this season, but I don't know if it'll happen in China. Other teams, of course, Toro Rosso, again quite impressed with them. They got 2 points finishes in Australia, not too bad. Now, of course, McLaren, this is where obviously a big discussion has to take place. You know, they struggled so much in Australia. They're meant to be a winning team. They've got 2 good drivers, great drivers even. Okay, Van Dorn's not so proven, but we know he's a good driver at least. And hopefully, I'm really hoping China they'll be able to do a bit better. But you know what? The back straight in China is so long, as we know. They're going to lose so much time there. It'll be unbelievable. And that is quite worrying. So of course, the Haas team now, a very strong performance for them in Australia. Sadly, neither car actually finished. But in terms of pace, especially with Grosjean, I thought they were pretty good. They were very good. You know, will they be able to challenge podiums this season? You never know. It's something to really look forward to with the Haas F1 team. Finally, I want to talk about those 2 more teams actually. Renault, big race for Stroll Palmer particularly. Hulkenberg had a decent race in Australia, but it was really bad for Stroll Palmer. Big weekend for him. He has to try to prove himself. I know on Twitter and everything, everyone's been making fun of him, and there's been rants about him on podcasts about it and everything. So Palmer needs to try to prove himself a bit, prove he's more of a team player, prove he's up to scratch in Formula 1. But to be honest, I have my doubts in terms of that. Now Sauber, sadly, as I'm doing this video, I don't know whether PASCAL WEHRLEIN is going to be back for China or not. It might be Giovinazzi again, but Giovinazzi was great in Australia. And I guess if WEHRLEIN does come back, which I think he will, it's a huge weekend for him because he has to prove himself to be better than Giovinazzi, otherwise he's at risk of losing the seat. So yes, now I want to go through my predictions for China. So, I'm going to predict Sebastian Vettel to win the race. I'm going to predict Lewis Hamilton to have pole again. But I think Sebastian Vettel will win the race. I can see it playing out in a similar way to last time. Then I'm going to have Hamilton in second, Kimi Raikkonen in third, Valtteri Bottas fourth, Ricciardo in fifth, Verstappen in sixth, Perez in seventh, Massa eighth, Hulkenberg ninth, and rounding out the top 10, I reckon Carlos Sainz will come 10th. Obviously, there's a few variables. I have seen a long-term weather forecast saying that it might be a wet weekend, in which case we have no idea what's going to happen. It might help McLaren if it's wet, but we honestly have no idea what will happen if it's a wet race. Also, the other thing we have to talk about, will overtaking be easier now in Formula 1 in the second race? In Australia, it was bad, but we must remember at the same time it is a street circuit, so we don't really expect too much in terms of overtaking, but I hope it'll be better. And I guess maybe with the longer DRS straight and the long straight and the lower drag on the car, there will be a lot of overtakes in China, I hope, even if they're by DRS, which is a little bit artificial. But to be honest, an overtake is an overtake as far as I'm concerned, and that does really excite me, and I hope we have a really good race, especially up front. Anyway guys, I hope you join me when next week I'll be reviewing the Chinese Grand Prix. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. If you have anything to say about this video, please leave a comment in the comments section below. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this and other types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also go and check out the video that should be on screen right now. And with that note, I'll just ask you to follow me on Twitter at BigGaming342 and like my Facebook page, BigGaming342. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.